What's up, everybody? We made it to another Friday. Welcome to episode 6. And before we get started,
bust it.
Boy, I do love that sound. Oh, yes.
Have to prove it's really happening.
I'm gonna need to protect the microphone. No laughing.
All right. So to start it all off, my name is Mike Sarah. This is Customer States. To my left is Allie Paul.
I'm Allie Paul. Thanks, Mike. And to my left is Jake Rikus.
My name is Jake. Hey, everybody. Welcome back. Thanks for tuning in again. And as always, Kevin, our producer, here to make sure we stay in line.
Hello.
Hi, Kevin.
Hi, Kevin.
Okay.
Damn it, Kevin.
Well, to start it off with, today being Friday and all, we literally all just got off of work.
Finally, it's Friday. I've been waiting for this since Monday.
I've been
waiting for this since we literally hit stop recording since last Friday.
I agree.
We do this better.
This has been a ton of fun, not only for us to record and produce, but also the feedback that we get from all of our listeners out there.
That's awesome.
It is so much fun. I can't thank the listeners enough for supporting us and writing in and telling us all the good things.
And
yeah, does it not brighten your day when you see something?
Of course. And how about 1.1 or 1,100? 1,100 listens now.
Yeah, we're over 1,100 listens now.
1,127.
Ooh.
10 minutes ago.
Well, that's the most up-to-date thing that I've gotten so far. This in on the wire.
What's that?
Okay. Well, this being Friday again, like I was saying, it's been a really crazy week. We were very short-staffed all week, and I don't know.
No fucking way. Dealership being short-staffed.
Yeah, would you imagine that?
No.
I don't know if it was a full moon or something, or it has to do with the Lyra's meteor shower or something like that. However,
I'm a Capricorn.
Mercury and Gatorade.
Yeah,
or whatever.
Mercury's and Gatorade or some shit.
So I went on a road. It's been a crazy week, and I've had to play the shop foreman role as far as dealing with customers more often than not.
Okay.
And so the past few days has been a little bit challenging, just because the nature of the people that I've been dealing with. I had teased one story on the socials about a half-eaten mouse with entrails on a Gatorade bottle.
Can't wait, dude.
I've been waiting for this story all week.
I haven't told them the full story yet because it's been a teaser. And
dude, the fucking guts were like melted Jolly Rancher. It was
within
nuts.
The studio, it's a teaser. We don't know what's going on. Only Mike knows the answer.
Yeah, it's on Facebook. I'm pretty sure the picture.
It is for sure
and
on the
on
Facebook page.
Instagram too.
Then that's facebook.com/customer states podcast.
What happened to Stuart Little? God damn it!
Yeah, you're gonna have to wait for closer towards the end of the episode, just like everybody else.
Stay tuned.
Yes, I'm telling you, it's worth it. But today specifically, earlier in the day, I went on a road test with a customer, and I read the appointments every morning, like I've told before. And in the beginning of the morning, I'm reading the appointments, and it says, literally the appointment says, customer states, ever since last oil change, transmission shifting loudly, feels like something's loose. I remember that from the appointment slip. So we got your ever since and your customer states all in one, right? Okay. So I'm waiting for the phone call from the service advisor. So 7:45 comes around, and the service advisor is like, "Hey, Mike, I need you to come up here. I want you to deal with a customer."
Real quick, sorry to stop you on that. What do you mean a phone call? Do your service advisors not walk out to you to talk to you? Do you guys have direct lines each?
Yeah, every stall has a telephone.
God, that must be fucking nice.
Jake and I are exchanging wanting looks at each other.
But, I mean, you also know, like, you have the cell phone number of the text, right?
Well, yeah, but they never have their phones on them. So it's either, beep, beep, beep. You come to the service office, so-and-so, and it's, and then they're all like, no, fuck that guy, and you got to walk all the way across the lot.
I don't know if Bane calls me to the service office. I'm probably not going to go.
Why, hello, Mr. Transman.
I need the shop foreman.
Hey, I'm gonna be going home.
Pow.
So the service advisor calls me and says, "Hey, I need to come up here to deal with the customer." I said, "Oh, it's the person with the ever since since last oil change. What did we do during the service?" "Oh, it's literally just an oil change." Okay. So I go out to the service drive, introduce myself. "Hi, I'm Mike Sarah. I'm the shop foreman here. How can I help you?" And she starts explaining these problems to me, and it's, well, just when I start off driving, it feels like it's lurching. Okay, well, let's go for a road test. And it's an elderly couple, and her husband, she gets in the front seat. Her husband gets in the back seat, and I'm driving. And so we're driving and we're talking, and they're very nice and lovely and polite people, and we're having a good conversation. I mean, honestly, it feels like I was like driving my grandparents. They were very easy to talk to, and I try to be like
a nice ride.
Yeah, I try to be bubbly and polite and nice while I'm driving, with customers.
Yeah.
And we had a customer that came around actually in front of your guys' dealership in some sort of schmuckschwagen, a little bit too hot, and they had commented on how crazy it is to drive in the auto mall.
Oh yeah.
And I'm thinking,
I've been in 2 accidents in that auto mall.
Yep.
Not my fault. Both of them, not my fault.
Of course it's not your fault, because we drive like normal people through there. It's just crazy in there. So anyway, we get out of the auto mall, and I tell them, like, this is the reason why I want to get out of the auto mall for this road test.
Right.
So, she's talking about, it's lurching or harsh engagements, from when she stopped driving forward. Okay. So we go on the road test, and she's telling me, well, this is all good and well. The vehicle's operating fine, but, I don't usually drive, this slow. And
holy shit, man.
So I look over to the passenger seat at this,
getting called out by the little old lady who lives in the shoe.
Yeah, it's a really nice lady, but she's like very old. And I look at her, I said,
old was she?
The geriatric goddess.
So I look at her and I say, "Did you just call me a slow driver?" And her husband's busting up in the back seat laughing. And so she's like, "Well, yeah, normally, like, when I drive, I just, I drive faster than this. I accelerate faster than this." And her husband's in the backseat like, "Oh, yeah, she does."
She might walk slow, but she drives like a bat out of hell.
It would have been even better. Just turn over to you. "No balls, young man."
So I tell her, I said, well, normally when I drive customers' cars, I'm not racing them around, and I drive reserved in my own personal life.
Try to be respectful.
Try to be respectful of somebody else's car. I mean, imagine if the shoe was on the other foot, and you were driving home from dropping your car off at the dealership, and you see me zooming down the street in your car at 60 miles an hour, you wouldn't really, appreciate that. So I try to drive quite reserved, and, it's hard to duplicate how the customer drives without actually driving with them. So I appreciate you driving with me.
Sure.
Thank you for telling me this. Now that you've told me this and we've straightened out, I'm going to go ahead and punch it.
So, you're doing great, sweetie.
Buckle up.
So again, I floor the thing. It's an automatic transmission in an SUV. I floor the thing. It's a turbocharged vehicle. Okay. Floor the thing. It kicks down 2 gears. I see both their heads out of my peripherals shoot back in the seats.
You folks like Mexico?
So, and the vehicle's driving fine. And she's like, "Oh, okay. Well, yeah, I got the vehicle serviced 2 weeks ago, and it started happening, when I picked it up, but it hasn't happened for the past week or so." Oh, okay. So if it hasn't happened for the past week or so, it's not happening on the road test. What would you like me to do? Well, no, I'm driving to Washington, and I just wanted to make sure it was safe.
Sure.
Well, I appreciate you coming in. Obviously, if there's something wrong with it, we'd want to fix it. We'd want to take care of it.
Mm-hmm.
But right now, your vehicle's operating perfectly fine.
The way it's supposed to.
Yeah. But you put them at ease, though, for sure. I mean, like, okay, no codes, no this, no that.
I've definitely noticed that's actually pretty common. You'll have an older couple, and they're like, "I just want to make sure it's okay. I'm going to Washington or Idaho or to see, my sister Flo in Florida.
Yeah,
I'm vaccinated. I'm going to go see my grandkids."
Yeah, exactly.
Well, and it's funny, like, on the way back to the dealership, we're making small talk. I've already had the discussion with, like, the vehicle's operating perfectly fine right now. Even if I tore everything apart on the car and looked everything over, it's operating fine right now. I'm not going to find anything. If there's a problem with it, bring it back and we'll go from there. But right now it's operating fine. And I trying to lighten the mood, once again. And I say something to the effect of, oh, and by the way, if you see my mom, let her know that I'm a good driver because she doesn't believe me. And they were dying laughing. They're like, oh, sweetie, this was so, thank you so much.
Let me pinch your cheeks.
Your mom's just like, ever since all those wilted leaves.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Fucking callback.
The wilted leaf.
And I'll roll off of your story there real quick with the, crazy drivers in the auto mall, and there's a fucking blind corner.
Yeah, there's gotta be some. Do you always drive, or do you let customers
You always give them the option.
I'm sorry, I always drive.
Okay.
There's mixed things about that because it's either your insurance or the dealership's insurance. If there's an accident that you're involved in.
And like Mike said, it's when I'm sorry,
it's not your personal, it's either the dealership's insurance or the customer's insurance.
Right. And like Mike said, it's like how he always drives, and by what I mean by we'll give the customer a choice. Mm-hmm. We will always start off with the drive just because you feel safer, you know what you're looking for. If they can't find it and then the customer's like, well, you're not doing it right, then we may go, okay, you need to drive it. But if somebody comes in and it's like, well, when I drive this at 92 miles per hour down the 101, we're like, no, sorry, not happening.
I'm not getting in the car with you, nor will I drive at those speeds.
Yep.
Yeah.
But on that, there's a blind corner and just stupid drivers and stuff like that to end my day, which was fantastic. So I've got I'll piggyback off of something that happened earlier in the week. I had a tech who was not paying attention in a customer's brand new 2021 model car, and he comes out of his stall way too quick, and the trash truck drivers come every single morning, dump the dumpsters. So he's there, not paying attention. They are pulling out the actual dumpster itself, and sure as fucking shit, with him not paying attention and going too fast, it just fucking tears the goddamn door skin on the fucking driver's side door.
Oh my God.
And it had, I don't know, 300 fucking miles on it, like brand new, in for a fucking recall. So, of course, once again, knock on wood.
You found the exact same color one in the back with
the door. Right. It's like, holy shit, go get one of the loaners.
It's like when your fish dies and your mom and dad go and try and find the same fish.
So, knock on wood, that wasn't my customer. So, that I was like, popcorn. Let's see how this works out. But again, to end today, that same tech, apparently, one of our wash porters leaves, so we only have one. End of the day, everybody who's picking up late, we wait to wash those cars just because there's waiters first, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, of course.
So the list is endless. So we've only got one wash guy. He's running back and forth, and he's got to get all this shit done. We're trying to drive cars to help him just because there's no people coming in. And sure enough, that same tech, allegedly, I didn't see it happen. Allegedly. I didn't see it happen, but my wash guy comes back, and he goes, fucking so-and-so just ran me the fuck over. And we're like, wait, what? And he's all like,
it wasn't that severe because he was telling you about it.
That's
a good sign.
He was fucking livid, man. Like, I mean, this was
who this is.
Yeah, too. This was in shock, adrenaline going. That's even if it, all in all, it wasn't too bad. But I mean, the adrenaline's going, you're everything, so you can't feel pain. And he goes, he just fucking backed up into me and fucking ran over my leg. And we're all like, holy shit, man.
Like with a tire ran over the leg.
Like, I guess ran over like with the back like quarter panel, like it hit him. He kind of went like bow-legged and then it like dumped over him. Not the tire, but he like got dragged underneath the back corner panel of the car.
Right.
And so
he shouldn't have been standing there.
so real fast, I'll end this super quick. So he comes over and he's pissed. He's like, "You just ran over," and he pulls up his pant leg and it's already bruised. And we're like, "Great."
That's not good.
So of course we take pictures of his leg, call the service manager, let him know what happens, and I text him and I'm like, "You just fucking ran over our porter, dude. What the fuck?" And he's like, "No, man, he was just standing where he wasn't supposed to. He backed into me, or he started backing up into me, and I was just happened to be going at the same time." I'm like, "You know what, man? You're going to have to explain this on Monday. Enjoy your fucking weekend."
Oh, my God.
The deer ran into my car.
Yeah.
That tree just came from out of nowhere.
Exactly. So a great way to already end a super busy and stressful Friday, just like Mike said.
Oh, my gosh.
Fucking stressful weeks. I guess we'll stick with it because we've got no fucking choice. Let's go with customer fucking reviews.
All right. Well, I have one for this.
I bet you fucking do.
Yeah. So difficult customers and Yelp reviews.
Mm-hmm.
So back when I was working on diesels, I allowed myself to work on diesels.
You allowed yourself?
Yeah.
You gave yourself the permission?
No, because I had always said after I started as a diesel tech. Okay. And after like 2 or 3 years, I said I'm done with diesels, and I moved on to transmissions. But when techs left or whatever, they'd want to come back and can you work on this? We're short of tech. I need you to just do this diesel job. Okay, I guess I'll do this one job for you. Right.
Once you go glow, you're never gonna go.
So I'm working on this diesel truck. And the customer brings it in, and it's like, customer states, truck does not start. Truck does not start. Crank no start, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So first thing I do is I pull codes on it. Verify the concern. Sure, yeah, cranks, but it doesn't start. Okay, pull codes on it. I got all these injector codes. And, a couple of other erroneous codes, but it's like all 8 injector codes on this diesel truck.
Yeah. That's a P code?
Well, yes, they're all P codes for powertrain.
Yep.
Yeah.
I never knew that's what that stood for.
That
was just
there's
here's a P.
Like P3 is spark plug random misfire. Usually
P0, anything in the P03,
right.
like 100 to 316 or 319, I think maybe, is going to be a misfire related code.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. So anyway, so it's got all these injector, like electrical circuit codes in it, not misfire codes, electrical circuit codes.
Okay.
So I pop the hood and I start doing my inspection on this thing. And I was a diesel tech when this engine was, brand new. And so I remember this one. So
do you remember what model Fjord it was?
Yeah, it was in between a 5.9 and a 6.1 liter.
I gotcha.
So I'm working on one of the gems, and so I just because I've done so many of these, I noticed this wire harness retainer isn't in the correct place, and this bracket is supposed to be held down by a nut, and it's held down by the wrong size head bolt, and this is in the wrong place, and so I'm just noticing all of these,
something's already fucking.
Yeah, somebody's already been tinkering with this thing, or at least whoever's been working on it in the past before I've gotten to it didn't really know what they were doing.
Yep.
Sure.
So I dig a little bit deeper, and I noticed that every single so it's a V8. Every single wiring harness that goes in the injector has 4 wires. Every single injector harness, all 4 wires, the insulation is gone, and the wires, the copper wires, are touching.
Nice.
Okay. So that's the source of all of my injector codes.
That's just so that it gets better connection, bro. Come on.
Yeah. I mean, you want continuity between everything, right? Everything's got to talk to each other. And that's how wires work.
And customers wonder when they look at us like, no work's been done to it. I've never touched it. It's like, we can find this shit, bud. It's like, it's not fucking hard.
You can see the little minute change, that's not how it's supposed to be.
With somebody like fucking Mike and some of my fucking techs, they will notice when a fucking nut has fucking torque marks on it.
I have, you talk about witness marks. I mean, that's an easy one, but I have seen so many of these engines, thousands of these, not just the same one, different trucks. I've seen thousands of these.
One of my Matchbox cars isn't where it's supposed to be.
It's exactly like that. Yep. I know that this stud has a bracket on it, and it's a stud bolt, not just a stud, and it has this nut on. I know these little different things.
Yep.
So I figure out my initial diagnosis just to get started with trying to get this thing running again. Not to mention all the stuff that's been incorrectly assembled on it, and try to fix all that stuff.
Okay.
So I give the service advisor the quote for the job.
Mm.
The service advisor calls the customer. Customer says, "Oh, I can't believe you don't know what you're talking about. I'm going to come down. I want to talk to the technician. We got to figure this out."
Come on down.
There we go.
Do we need to take a minute here?
No, we're fine. We're fine.
Do I smell?
No, you just have to do it too.
It's like a church fart.
Okay, so the customer comes down, And I bring him over to the vehicle and I show him what I'm talking about with the wiring harnesses for the injectors, and how on every single injector, all 4 wires are touching each other. And we have to start with this injector harness. Fortunately, it's not the whole main engine harness. It's a separate harness, and I can replace that. It's relatively easy, but this is our starting spot.
Where you got to start.
I have these codes in the computer. This is, this can definitely be a problem.
Right.
This is the logical first thing to do.
And so I tell him, hop up here with me, look down at these, and you can see all 4 wires are touching. And also I wanted to point out that, whoever's been working on this before, this isn't in the right spot. This is, not, the hose clamp's not down here properly, blah, blah, like all these different things. And the customer looks at me and says, well, I've been working on the truck.
And there lies the answer.
So immediately I'm like, well, I mean, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say that, you've been doing bad work. It's just not the way that I would have done it. And so
it's just that your work is bad.
So yeah,
I'm not saying you're trash, but pull your fingers out of your ass there, bud.
I never try to trash talk another shop or anything like that, but
you try not to.
No, I need to point out that this is incorrectly installed, that this is wrong. And if you want me to continue with fixing your vehicle, I would like to fix these other things for you that's potentially not related to what's going on with your vehicle, but I at least want it to be the way that it should be, right? I mean, that's where I was coming from.
Yeah, of course.
Okay. So after he tells me, oh, no, that's not the problem. You don't know what you're talking about. It's got to be an issue with such and such a thing. The high pressure oil pump. I said, sir, all I have is electrical injector codes in here, which is the computer telling me that I've got like opens, shorts, short to grounds, short to powers. I've got high resistance. I've got these things in the wires for the injectors themselves. And I can see with my eyeballs that the wires are touching each other, which is never supposed to happen. So we need to start with this. So he gets all mad at me and storms off and ends up towing the truck out because obviously the truck doesn't start.
Yeah, of course.
So
wait, like towing it out, like I don't want you to touch this anymore. I'm over you.
You don't know what you're talking about. I'm gonna go to I'm gonna go somewhere else.
Yeah, I'm done.
Okay.
He obviously did great work on it, so you must be fucking it up somehow.
It's like my job is to make sure this is to factory spec. None of this is fucking factory spec.
So what I figured that he was going to do was he was going to take it to his house, order up the injector harness that I said that was bad,
try and do it himself,
and try and do it himself and try and save some face, right?
Right.
You know what he does? He goes on Yelp and writes a very long review about how
tears you a fucking new one.
Me personally using my name that I didn't know what I was talking about, that I tried to sell him something that he didn't need, and I tried to talk bad about him to his face, and all these terrible things that not only didn't happen, but anybody else who would have been a witness to this would have seen what I was talking about and said, yeah, there were these issues, and the technician told you what the issues were, and we have to start with there and start with this process before we can do anything else. Without a single doubt in my mind, that for sure needed an injector harness.
Is going to fix the issue.
That's going to fix the issue, where at least where it can start, and I can finish diagnosing the rest of the engine if it had any other problems.
Right.
But because I don't have any access to Yelp, now we have this one guy who had this, not even a bad experience. I mean, I was charging.
Stop you there. The dealership, if you have a Yelp page, you can respond to
yes.
Where we work, dude. Every single comment has the owner's actual.
Oh, there's nothing happening.
God damn it! Put away your goddamn vibrator.
It's on vibrator.
He's not talking about mine. He's talking about Mike's.
Well, we all like to have fun.
We'll let you decide. Hey, you got to remember.
Come on.
I can't hear it.
You're not a millennial? Come on.
Oh my lord.
Well,
actually, with the so 2 things here, and I'll come back to you, Ellie. The owner of our dealership, every single Yelp review he responds to, every single one.
Thank you for responding. I'm glad you like us.
Yeah,
or actually,
every single goddamn one, dude. You can go onto our Yelp page right now and see who's picture right next to every single one of the responses.
I feel like if you try to confront somebody in an online
it's not okay
in public, that makes it worse.
So that's the thing. It's not confront. If it's a good Yelp review, it's like, oh my god, thank you. If they mention me, it's like, we appreciate you, shouting out or saying that Jake helped you out here and we will always be there for you. If it's a bad one, let's say it's on my side of service, it's, we're sorry that you had a bad experience. We take pride in what we do. If you have any questions or any thoughts of how we could improve this or make your experience better, call so-and-so number and talk to the service manager at your leisure.
Well, we have the email surveys that do the same thing.
Right. And so do we. We have both. We've got the Yelp reviews. We've got the CSI bull crap. Oh, CSI.
People
sorry.
Oh, come on.
Yeah.
What's your CSI at right now? Where are you?
Actually, I'm at 96.8% out of
compared to your market.
Oh, compared to market?
Oh.
Yeah. Okay, so each month, generally speaking, overall, it's like 82 to 83%.
Is your market?
Is our market.
Okay.
And we're, generally speaking, always above 90.
That's pretty good.
Good job.
Especially in today's day and age with these Yelping customers.
Right. And then to bounce back to you, Allie, with Yelp, it's like, remember the Yelp, it's not a Yelp review, but our first review that we got on the actual customer state's Facebook page was, your warranty administrator sounds like a fox.
My sultry voice.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, man. If you could only see her now.
My ego is so erect right now.
As well it should be.
So I'll actually, you know what, Allie? I'm going to let you tell your Yelp story first.
Well, just the whole thing with Yelpers in general. Like you have
Yelpies.
Yep. Is that what?
I don't know.
Yelpies. So
food critics.
Oh God.
Was that the end of yours though? Was there like, so he dropped? I don't want to prematurely cut you off.
No, basically, he gave a whole bad Yelp review for no reason because he doesn't know what he's talking about because he thought that he knew enough to work on his own car.
You challenged him.
But now everybody that is going to read a Yelp review thinks that we're trying to rip people off and we don't know what we're talking about. When really the real story is this guy didn't know what he was talking about and just happened to have an internet profile with a Yelp review access thing. And I have no way to rebut it,
Something you have to think about though, like what's the overall rating of your dealership on Yelp?
Oh, I have no idea. I don't go on Yelp.
4.5 stars for ours.
4.5 stars. I'm gonna look up your rating right now.
So,
please don't.
While you're doing that, like, there's something very
excuse me.
You guys are a 3.5
because of that guy.
No,
and see we'll stick with the CSI, man. It's like that's the thing with Yelp. What customers don't realize.
Okay, so most of the stuff that Kevin's putting on the screen is all about the sales department.
And see, that's the thing. That's what hurts when it comes to Yelp. When customers go, okay, well, I'm gonna, put this here. A bad review, even if you have 1,000 good reviews, 1-star review tanks you. It does. It's how it works. That's how it works with the fucking CSI, man.
Absolutely.
The fucking math to that is absolute horseshit.
Well, it's just like when I have
makes
a good
sense to somebody.
Yeah, exactly.
If I have a good experience at a place, I tell like a couple people, yeah, it's good, okay. But if I have a shitty experience at a place, it's going to this fucking place is fucking shithole.
Now,
on and on.
And that's what a really good buddy of mine or a business partner I had back in the day told me. You have to remember, for every good review you have, it will reach 10 people. For every bad review you have, will reach 1,000 people.
Yeah.
Every fucking time.
Even just by word of mouth.
And that's exactly it, though. It doesn't matter if it's somebody read the Yelp, because even me personally, like if I want to go to a new restaurant, what's the first thing I look at? The lowest reviewed comments. The lowest scored comment. So 1 star, 2 stars. What is it about this place that people don't like? I don't immediately start with the 5 stars because I'm like, okay, if it's got all 5 stars, it looks good. But why is it at 3.5 stars? Why is it at 4 stars? What happened? So,
I think it's also fair to talk about people who do Yelp reviews in general. Are you going to, unless you are like the person who is highly rated on Yelp and like, oh, every time I go to this, like, whenever I travel, I leave a Yelp review and I'm like top rated Yelper.
And that shit, dude, when you see that, like top Yelper, top reviewed, most followed.
I don't even do Yelp at all. I have no idea what you guys talking
about.
I have done
to be pissed
boogers
off.
and cum.
That's boogers and cum.
Boogers and cum.
Oh my god. That's why I'm here to like rein it in.
Yeah, Trey Parker and Matt Stone, get at me.
Oh,
man.
dude,
we love
please.
you guys.
Please.
That would be fucking fantastic.
This is delicious. Yeah, if you like my boogers and cum.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
But Yelp was good for the fact of how it came out, but it's also a god, and it lack a better word because it sucks. But Yelp is cancer. Absolute fucking cancer.
So the biggest thing is, like you were saying, you have one customer that has a good experience, they tell one person, and the other person has a bad experience, goes on Yelp and tells 100. Well, the old thing used to be, you have one good experience, one customer has one good experience, they tell one person. One customer has a bad experience, they tell 12 people.
Right.
But now with social media, anybody can say anything, and it's and it's not word of mouth. It's just whatever you feel like writing down. It could be completely false, or your perception of what actually happened.
Correct.
But the real events that happened in the real world were nothing like that.
Goddamn artists.
Well,
it's so frustrating. Well, I mean, it can help you and hurt you for sure. Like, there's people look at Yelp, like when you Google search or when you search in your iPhone directions to the place, the Yelp shows up.
Yeah, that's right there. Yeah, of course.
So I was perusing.
At the next light, turn. Fuck this place. Right.
Actually, just pass it.
Yeah, it's like,
please pass.
At the next light, pass this shithole.
I don't know. I think Yelp is terrible. And
it is terrible.
And as an adult, you should be able to make your own opinions based on your own influences on a place, and you shouldn't listen to.
But how can I make a decision if I don't know how many stars it has?
Okay, so I think Yelp should stick to the restaurant industry.
Period.
Okay.
Because what's happening now is, even if it's a franchise McDonald's, that franchise is fucking up, right? So it's a 2-star. Then there's the one over in Beverly Hills, and it's a 5-star because the bathrooms are marble and everything's awesome.
And hey, I saw Kim K there.
It's got a Trump toilet inside.
An attendant.
May I offer you a butt wipe, sir?
But when you start to get into like industries like automotive industry or other things like that, I mean, I can understand like, an AC company or something, but like when you get into a thing that's got a manufacturer and then it's got a parent company and then it's got all these
we are so many steps removed from actually Ford.
And so a decision that you have to tell the customer that Ford the company made.
Oops.
Oh, fuck it. It's Ford.
Like everyone fucking knows. Come on. It's fucking Ford. Like I've said it like 6 times. You've dropped it.
All 6 listeners are gonna.
Yeah, it's okay. Fuck it. Like, you know what? If we're getting sued, we're doing something right. So
there you go.
Oh God, please don't sue me.
You know what? What do they say about press?
Any press is good press.
Yeah,
bad press is still good. Or bad press is still good press.
We don't know the saying, but you get the gist. Yeah, but what I'm getting at is like, you could be told, for example, that F-150, that Raptor. Fuck it, dude. That Raptor that was in the desert, right?
Yeah.
You were fighting for the customer.
I was.
Right. And so you talk to Ford, and Ford's like, "Oh no, fuck you." And so now you have to be the guy.
Shot me faster than a horse with a wounded leg or whatever.
A fucking lame Mustang.
Oh my God, sea biscuit.
But yeah, so you have to you have to tell the customer, hey, we can't do this. And you know what's going to happen? They're going to go on Yelp. And when I was reviewing your Yelp page, there's actually a couple of people that pointed out, I'm not talking about this dealership particularly.
I'm talking about my
Ford.
experience.
I'm talking
of Ford.
about the manufacturer. Yep. Fuck them. But that's a 1-star on whatever. Fuck it. That's a 1-star on your company.
Yeah, and I understand, because it hurts me as an individual, not even a technician or an associate or representative of my dealership or even the company that I work for, the manufacturer that I work for. As a person, I personally am trying to help you. It doesn't matter, what name is on my shirt as far as the manufacturer or whatever.
It's like
I'm trying to fix your car. I want to do this for you to get your car working. I'm not trying to make money.
It's like the previous episode that we recorded. We don't have fucking malicious intent.
No, not at all.
It's not to judge.
Personally, I don't, at least.
Right. And like we said, with the sales things, with the last, sales, there's just shitty people. But it's like with me, how I work, how you operate, how Kevin operates, how Ali operates. We don't have malicious intent. We want to help you fix your fucking car. We get it. You worked on it right. We're sorry if we hit a quote nerve. But we can't sit there with how we handle ourselves and how we handle business. I'm not going to lie to your fucking face, man. It's like, if it's not fucking right, it's not right. You come to me looking to fix your fucking car. I got to tell you fucked up.
Okay, so think about it. A salesman sells a car and you have the car for 3 years if it's a lease, or infinite amount of years if you actually bought it outright and you plan on keeping it.
Right.
Okay, so that's a one-time interaction.
Mm-hmm.
In the service department, I'm going to see you every 6 months or 5,000 miles at least.
Damn fucking straight, man.
Why would I want to sully a relationship because I'm going to rip you off for everything that you have right now?
And then you never forget.
You know what? I'd rather, instead of draining all your money right now, I'd rather drain it over a period of time if you wanted to be so cynical about it.
Yeah, for sure.
But realistically, it's like, no, we want this. We want this good interaction. We want this type of, environment that you feel comfortable bringing your vehicle in, getting it serviced by us.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, it sucks when you have those little bad seeds that kind of ruin the customer's perception of your dealership before that potential customer even gets there.
I think there's people like you and me and Jake too, that like, we know what Yelp is. We know that when you're mad, you go to Yelp. So maybe that's not the best way to,
but that's the, that's the problem. That's
the business.
That's people who
perceive the business.
That's people who either are having a bad day, they are a keyboard warrior, they have never been in the customer service industry. Tip your waiters. They have
do it. I've worked. Everybody should have to work.
We should have more regulations and laws for social media. A background check for Yelp reviews.
Dude, I got fucking zucked yesterday.
I saw that.
What the fuck, man?
Hey, you shouldn't have fucked up.
Oh my god, dude! I will strike you. But so. It's weird. It's a gray area with the whole thing. But Kevin made a point. It's like, it should stick to fucking restaurants. Everybody can rightfully and not fairly, but everybody knows how to judge food.
I think it should be industries that do not have, like, you can do franchises, like I said, like a McDonald's or something, but it shouldn't be industries where it's a franchise of a manufacturer.
You're 6 steps down the line.
Exactly. It should be something where it's like, it has to pertain, or, you can comment about it, but it has to pertain to that specific establishment's performance.
Right.
And not based on decisions made by a parent company or a company that's parenting that parent company.
And don't fucking rag on fucking mom and pop, man. If you can fucking go to a shop and it's a fucking granny and a grandpa and a son running the fucking business. You should be lucky
that you get to have that experience.
Exactly. And it takes a couple of fucking extra minutes. No matter how terrible
it may be.
Yeah, we don't know how long that's going to last.
And if it takes a couple extra minutes and they don't get you your part right away, fucking pull your goddamn head out of your fucking ass, man. It's like, Jesus Christ.
I went to a training class in an area for my manufacturer, and I went with a couple other technicians, and we were out walking the streets looking for dinner after school one night.
Okay.
And we ran across, I can't even name the name of the company, the store. It was a mom and pop hardware store. They're so rare these days. They had like dryer belts and little weird pulley things and like all these little things that your normal X, Y, and Z big box stores aren't going to have. And I legit spent 45 minutes in that store. I didn't need a damn thing. I was traveling.
Right.
I talked to every single person in the store. I looked at every single piece of
application, bro?
Dude, it
was amazing.
And that's the thing.
I ended up buying something that I didn't need because I just felt so bad and I wanted a handwritten receipt from this place.
I got a belt for an 89 Amanda washer.
Yep. And driving through one time when I was passing through this place called Somas, California. There is actually a bitchin' like hardware store that's there. It's next to this awesome little Mexican restaurant, but It's huge. It's all brick and mortar. It stretches back forever. But I mean, you walk into this place and it's like, holy fucking shit. They have everything. And it is cluttered. It's a mess.
But they have what you want there.
And the crazy,
you may not be able to find it, but somebody there's going to be able to find it for you.
Right. And that's the thing, dude. It's I remember I was looking for something for some project I was doing, and I walk in there, and the dude's like, "What can I help you find, man?" I'm like, okay, let's test this. I need so and so. And he just takes off, and he's like, "Follow me." Fucking 3 to the left, 4 to the right, down fucking like
down the rabbit hole.
Exactly. And he just pulls out this fucking just thousands of these little tiny boxes. He pulls a box, opens it up, and boom. No. There's no organization in this shit whatsoever.
No, you're wrong. You're wrong, because there is to him.
Well, okay, so yes, to him it is. It's like, but I mean, it blew my fucking mind. He's like, "Oh yeah, man, it's this fucking box." He's like, pulls it, sure as fucking shit right there. And he's like, "Anything else I can help you find?" I'm like, "Let me think of something, man, because I just want to see you fucking do that again."
You got a gasket to a 67 Roadrunner?
I need a 0.125 inch Woodruff key for.
So let's continue, since we're on a good rant. You've got a Yelp story.
I do have a Yelp story. So far we've talked about, angry customers, things like that. I have a Yelp story about an employee, or ex-employee, partial employee.
So that's where the good ones come from.
We're trading cashiers. It takes some time, because for our like dealer management system, it's not something that you can just like pick up right away. You don't just like push in the buttons. You need to know like the little idiosyncrasies. So we've been training this lady for like a week, 2 weeks, and it's finally time for her to do her like first hour by herself.
Yeah, as a cashier, right?
Yeah, as a cashier. So, you're answering the phones, because we still have, like a receptionist that way. And so you have to do that. You have to know like where to put everything, blah, blah, blah. Anyways, so she's going for her first hour being by herself, covering a lunch for another person. And I don't know. Everything goes great. I mean, she seems to be doing well, like maybe a little timid, if anything. And then within 15 minutes of her being by herself, I get a call from service like, "Hey, is your girl going to come back from break?"
What the fuck do you mean, come back from break?
Isn't
she fucking covering?
Yeah. This is her first hour on her own. She straight up just was, fuck it. I don't want to do this. Apparently, like, I don't want to do this anymore. Leaves, and that's it. That's all we hear from her.
She just walked off the job?
Just straight up walked off the job. Nothing to me, nothing to the service writers, office manager, nothing.
Oh my God.
So we're like, okay, that's it. Like, maybe we'll get a phone call for a last check. I don't know.
Come to KFC for the fucking bucket.
She does not get the opportunity for a last check.
But that is not the last we hear of her, because she Yelp reviews the business as being a terrible dealership to work with. All these things that nothing has ever been voiced. I'm thinking that maybe we were dealing with a slightly unstable person.
Not somebody that's all there. Yeah, you would say.
Yeah. As my grandpa would say, a couple bubbles off of plum, or whatever he would say. So, yeah, it totally blew my mind. She writes this scathing review, and actually, like, when a employee writes a story, oh my God, warranty brain. When an employee writes a Yelp review about a business, it can actually get taken off. So it was on there for a couple days, and we're all sharing it. Everyone, oh my God, can you believe it?
And then it got taken down.
Yeah,
you can,
as the business, you can get it taken down because it's considered slander or whatever.
You can pay, and you can convince Yelp to actually remove it. It, like she said, it's either slander or you can pay, but not a lot of people know that. So see, if you look and it's like, where the fuck is my goddamn review? It's because either you were too much of a dick, or somebody's got more money than you do.
All right. Well, we're going to take the second to go ahead and pay the bills. We're going to switch to a little ad break, and we will see you back after the ad.
And we're back.
Hi.
Allie, Mike, round 2.
Come on, Kev. Yeah.
I got some.
Wait, it's kind of become kind of a thing now.
No.
I wasn't going to make fucking mouth noises. Calm down.
You did make mouth
noises. Those are all mouth noises, let me tell you, my friend.
Did it come out of your mouth? It's a mouth noise.
Did it? Can it come out of my... Well, okay.
Hey, this isn't a family program.
Yeah, you shouldn't watch your language here.
So let's shift...
Yeah, watch your fucking language, Jake.
Fuck you! So let's shift gears.
Okay.
And let's go on... we were kind of discussing amongst ourselves before we came back. Let's go with state inspections and how they're at other, New York, other places like that. And if it should or will it, or what we think about.
Will it?
Shout out to Will it.
Yep.
Will it? And if we'll actually see it here in California.
So my whole thought on this thing is in states other than California, some states in other countries.
Bro, that is truly distracting.
Oh. I don't even know if that picked up or not. Okay.
It's sure it
picked up.
We got it.
These Rhodes microphones are amazing.
Yes.
So when we talk about inspections for vehicles, safety inspections, I'm talking about what would be considered like a Department of Transportation or a Department of Motor Vehicle
government
safety inspection on the vehicle to make sure that your vehicle is truly roadworthy.
And
I'm not talking about modifications or whatever. I want to make sure that
the car that I'm driving next to isn't going to kill me.
Yeah, the brake hoses aren't going to explode because you've neglected them for this long, or the body mounts are rotted out, and the bed of your truck is going to fall off,
right? Or
like that,
or the bulges on your fucking sidewall of your tire don't look like Nicki Minaj's ass.
Do you have a picture of those, by the way?
You better believe it.
So
yeah, I think Google has a couple pictures of that.
Yeah, so basically,
wet ass pussy.
Oh, that's the wrong person. Okay.
So basically, this all kind of stemmed from an idea of
that's Cardi B.
Mm-hmm.
From an episode of the Trailer Park Boys.
Oh.
And Ricky is doing repairs on his old Eldorado or whatever that is.
Canadian friends?
Yeah, of our
You're
Canadian
out there.
friends.
Hey, guys.
Shout out to Canada.
Yeah, shout out to Chance. I love you and your fucking Native American ass.
No, not Native American.
Sorry, Native.
That's insensitive.
Indigenous people, I believe, is what.
Well, native
nomenclature.
Sorry, Native Canadian. I love your Native Canadian.
Native
ass.
Canadian.
Yep.
He's an indigenous person.
We love all of your asses.
Oh, he's indigenous. He's hairy as fuck.
Okay, so Trailer Park Boys. Ricky is repairing his car to go get his inspection so he can get his car re-registered. Well, that had me thinking, in the automotive industry, I see a bunch of vehicles that really shouldn't be on the road, or we say, hey, listen, your brakes are metal to metal, and this car is not safe to drive. You need to have it towed out of here. Well, what do you mean I drove it in? I cannot believe that you drove it in, but you need to tow it out.
Oh.
It's unsafe to be on the road. So then they decline the repairs and take the vehicle somewhere else and plop it back out on the road next to me driving home, on the road home. And so how is this possible? How is this allowed to happen?
Right.
And so I believe that we should bring mandatory 12-month safety inspections conducted by the state, similar to like when you have to register your vehicle, you need to go get, just like you would have to every 3 years, you have to have proof of a smog.
Right.
Okay. So then every year you would also have to have proof of the safety inspection, where they go through, they check, your turn signals, your brake lights, the windshield for cracks and chips, because it's illegal to have a cracked windshield here in California.
Not a working horn.
I mean, there's all these things that, you wouldn't really think about would be a major issue, but yet, man,
they are.
I was driving on the freeway once and I saw a wheel just fly off of a vehicle behind me.
Yeah. Could you imagine if that had been at a shop that could have fixed that?
Right. And
that could easily kill someone. What if there was a motorcyclist?
That shit happens. It does end up fucking killing people, but there have been plenty of fucking times, and it's true. It's like the mandatory would help, and those people who are either too cheap or I can get it done cheaper or whatever the fuck, that's fine. but then they actually fucking get it done. They have to, or they can't drive their fucking car.
Well, I sure hope they get it done. They thought they could drive their car because they
drove
into my shop.
You can't afford a car. Like if you can't afford to fix your car,
it's been like this for so long. It's not going to be. It's not going to be bad for a little while longer.
But what I'm going with is,
I've done that before.
With the people taking, if we have that mandatory, they don't have a choice. Then if they drive it, the car gets fucking impounded, you're fucked type of thing.
Right.
But with that, I've had a couple of different customers where it's fucking scary to the point where either your fucking core to your tires is just, I mean, the tiny, you roll over a fucking quarter, and that is enough of a fucking disturbance in the road that these things are going to fucking rupture.
That can.
Oh fuck yeah!
It's that low.
Oh, if your core show and you hit a pothole, boom, done.
That's again part of kind of what the CHP does.
Sure.
And mostly they just worry about big trucks and stuff like that. Transport trucks.
Right.
Man, I almost said lorries.
Lorry. Oh god.
Too much Top Gear.
Oh, I thought we were talking about like the seasoning salt brand.
No, I was talking about Hugh.
America.
I love that show House.
Lorry.
And then let's see another one. Shit.
A bit of Fry and Lorry is a good one too.
Oh yeah, there you go. Oh, yeah. A couple of months ago, for something like that, where if we're sticking with this, we had a guy come in and he calls and he goes, I'm hearing a really weird kind of rotational noise, it kind of clunking when I'm going, and we're all kind of thinking, maybe suspension, but the rotational kind of throws us off. So we're like, all right, it's either suspension, maybe it's
a drive line or something like that, yeah.
It could be a wheel bearing, maybe it's just he's imagining the clunk and his tires are just cupped. Either way, we tell him and we're like, well, maybe get it towed. It never really hurts. It's like, that we always ask, you got AAA? And if they say yes, and we're like, hey, are you, like right down the street? Oh yeah, I'm within like 6-7 miles. We're like, perfect, get it towed. It's safer that way. Of course, this guy doesn't get it towed. And like Mike said, I've been driving this like this for a while. It's no big deal.
That scares me.
Right.
Yeah.
He brings it in and my tech diagnoses it and he's like, it's definitely a wheel hub. He's like, he's just turning the wheel while it's up in the tires while it's up in the air. He's like, it's a wheel bearing, or I think it is. So he takes off the tires, takes off the hubs, all that shit. Literally, as he's unbolting it, the fucking bearing and the hub just come a fucking apart. And if that would have happened while driving, bye-bye to your tire.
Oh my god.
Well, we have on some of our older SUVs, they were known for the rear wheel bearings. It was an independent rear suspension on the back of these rear wheel drive vehicles, and the wheel bearings would get so bad that as you would lift the vehicle up in the air to do your inspection, you could literally see the tire rest back down, from its from its position, like 3.5 inches at the top of the tire as the radius comes out, because the wheel bearing was so bad. So it's like you wouldn't even have to go and shake the wheel back and forth, top to bottom, to check and see if the wheel bearing's bad. Just by lifting it up off the ground, you could see that it was junk. Mm-hmm. And they would get so bad that sometimes the bearing would seize in the knuckle, and you'd have to replace the whole knuckle as well. Right. I mean, that's that's a no joke thing.
So, right. And that's like a bigger, expensive-er.
It's a little bit it's a little bit expensive-er, more expensive repair.
And then another one, we had a car yesterday that we got. Once again, this was a not even a weird one, but like a what the fuck type of moment. The lady calls in and she goes, well, it's kind of weird. It only happens while braking. Or we're all like, okay. And she's like, well, let's just say I'm driving down the 101 and I brake a little hard to stop in traffic and I fishtail a bit. We're like, okay. And what else happens? And she's like, well, there's like kind of like a loud, so her rear end gets, okay.
Yeah.
And she's like, well, also when I do this, it's
kind of like what Nicki Minaj does in her videos.
And she's all like, and also
when the car twerks.
And when I put on the brakes, I'm also getting a loud, like kind of grinding, squeaking noise. We're like, okay. Did you get any work done recently? She's like, yeah, I got the rear brakes replaced. And we're like,
did you know?
Yeah, we're like, interesting. And where'd you get that done? She's like, Schmake Schmasters. It's like, oh,
I'm not familiar with that place.
Fucking brake masters, I fucking hate you.
Oh my
God. Hey, until we get cease and desist, we're fucking saying it.
All right.
So she brings...
Get at us, motherfuckers. We're looking for sponsorship.
And she goes, and also, like, once or twice, I've also braked, and the car just, like, locks up and, like, slides forward.
That's not good.
And especially with this, she's like, I've almost hit a car a couple of times. And we're like, well, how long have you been driving it like this?
How closely have you been following
I
it?
don't want to hear.
Yeah.
What is it?
Yeah, we're all
it?
like, so how long were these repairs? And she's like, I don't know, maybe a year and a half ago.
Oh my. She's been driving
Why?
a year and a half like that next to me.
Correct.
Next to me?
Correct.
Next to whoever's
Does she
listening
know
to
who
this
you
kid?
are?
No, she does not. She does not know who I am.
Dude, she is disrespecting you.
Yes. Mucho disrespect.
You should take this as a personal affront
I am right now.
to you.
Can you not see it in my
I'm sorry, I thought this was
face?
America. So we get the car in, raise it up, and my tech tries to spin the back wheels, and they no movie.
Oh,
And
like they're C's?
they're seized.
Are they is it a drum brake rear end?
No. Calipers.
Really?
And
Okay.
they are fucking seized.
Okay.
Bad. So we take off the wheels and look at it. The rotors ain't moving, man. These things are fucking clamped shut. And she still has, I don't know, 6-7 millimeters left on her fucking brake pad. So calipers are
Right.
seized. Fucking EPB motor gone.
Right.
Fucking piston
Electric
gone.
parking brake. I know that one.
Just fucking destroyed. So we call her and it's like, yeah, Brake Master's fucked you up big time. She's like, no, that can't be. Yeah, it can.
But they're the masters.
Gee, you came from
The
an independent
masturbators.
shop to the dealership. And
Right.
The dealership's telling you that somebody else made a mistake.
Right. Out of curiosity, the dude who replaced your brakes, was he a 19-year-old named Tyler and he was smoking a cigarette while you weren't looking? Yeah, there's that.
No.
How do you know that guy?
How you
Vape
fucking
for
dude? How you know
sure.
Tyler?
I know Tyler.
Dude's an asshole. So, of course, you need everything. You need rotors, brake pads. You need the whole entire caliper. You need everything. She's like, yeah. Of course, she turns into a chicken. What? So, and of course, we're all like, all right, that's going to be like $3,700. It's just the way that it's, if you want your car to run again, or you can take it back to Brake Master and tell Tyler he fucked up and hope that they can fix this.
That's what I would recommend. I always recommend that.
Okay, so
Yes, Kevin.
they did the electronic brake pump motor? Is that is that both sides? Whatever the fuck it's called. Is that both?
Electronic parking brake.
Oh, electronic parking brake. Okay, whatever.
I clearly
That's the
spelled
button
this
that you
out earlier.
press instead of
No,
like.
I completely
Okay.
understand what that is. I have had cars.
Oh,
So you're just replacing that independent caliper.
both calipers.
It's on both wheels.
Oh, it was on both, bud.
Oh,
Both
I
sides.
didn't know the e-brake was on both. I just figured.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
sorry.
The e-brake is on both rear
Oh, okay.
calipers.
Okay. So there's two calipers there,
Right.
and then you're replacing the two actual calipers.
Nope. It's an integrated caliper.
Correct.
So it's
okay.
so it's
Even better.
foot brake caliper, and then the electronic parking brake feature is
built
integrated into that
and
same
then it's
caliper.
just
Much like other calipers, calipers that when you have a handbrake or a foot brake.
Okay,
on.
so you have
This one's just
one
electronic.
caliper on each side that you're replacing,
Correct.
rotors and pads,
Correct.
and flushing the brakes, right?
Correct.
Sure, why not?
Well, because you're taking all that shit off. So.
Of course.
Correct.
Okay.
You always flush it.
Now I know that if I went to not Jiffy Lube, if I went to
Iffy lube.
Brake
if I went
master.
to Pep Boys or
Schmash
any
masters.
parts store and bought the parts for that vehicle,
Mhm.
it is not going to get anywhere fucking close to $3,700. And I know that if I sat down with someone that knew what they were doing, and granted, that's because they have experience and you're paying for experience, it's not going to take them that long.
So one thing that you're not accounting in is those calipers could be pretty expensive because they are electronic.
Let's
motors
call
in
them $800 for the calipers for the pair.
I'm
That's
not good at
four-
math.
that's $400
So-
a piece.
Somebody
so
field this for
granted,
me.
even
at my accounting
even if it
calculator.
is a bit exaggerated, you're considering diagnosis, you're considering R&R labor, you're considering the brake pads, the rotors on both sides, the electronic parking brake motor.
You're
Both
talking.
No, it's all
you're
built in.
talking-
That's built into one thing, though. So
you're
you're
talking-
taking the line off, you're taking the brake fluid line off and putting it onto the caliper, and then you're attaching a little Molex plug so it can talk to the other electronic parking brake. Let's not pretend like it's something crazy.
There's no reason why to replace rear calipers on any vehicle ever. To just do a brake job and replace the calipers, including bleeding the system, should be more than 3 hours worth of labor.
Yeah, it's
even if you have to use a scan tool to retract the pistons.
So what I'm getting at is like, if this is actually something like $3,700, and I don't know if that was an exaggeration for the story or not, but if it was like 37 or close to $4,000, that's fucking highway robbery.
That does seem kind of expensive.
Dude, Audi for them to replace the calipers and the rotors on my RS4 in the front was $2,700.
I mean,
if you're telling me a Mazda's rear end brakes are going to cost $3,700, you can go suck a dick.
No, it was slightly exaggerated, but
okay. No, I was like, whoa.
Yeah, no, it's exaggerated. If I had to put a number on it, I mean, like you said, it's 4 to 5 hours worth of labor.
Including diagnosis.
I mean,
if there was 2 hours of diagnosis, then I could understand.
Yeah,
but it's not hard to diagnose that vehicle. You put it up in the air and you go, well, that's fucked.
It depends on what's wrong with it. I mean, if it was a mechanical issue, that's one thing.
Well, it sounded like it was a pretty easy diagnosis.
If I really had to, what it was, because it was, granted, it wasn't my ticket either.
Right.
If I remember, I want to say it was a little over $1,800 for everything.
Okay, now we're in a realm where I can say, yeah, go ahead and do it. You're a dealership. You got to make your nut. I get it. Like,
that's a little bit more reasonable.
It's going to be the genuine parts.
Yeah, I want to say it was like
12 warranty on that.
Right.
I want to say it was a fucking frog's nut hair over 1,800.
Okay, so that would I would pay that without
that's not
questioning
very much at all.
Right, I know.
But yeah, 37. I was like, Jesus Christ,
1,801 penny. So yeah, but it's. With that, it was, I mean, when she would brake, it was literally squeezing on and there was nothing there. The rotors were fucking so dug into, man. I mean, it was one of the pads had cracked down the center, so the sensor pin had somehow moved itself all the way through the fucking middle of the goddamn pad.
Like shorted out or something like that.
Correct. And it was just fucking, like the needle on a record, man. It was just all the fucking way around. There was nothing fucking left.
So this was the fault of the driver or the fault
it was Brake Master.
Yeah, it was another shop that had done repair.
The car has to be put into what's called a maintenance mode where you can't, if you have like Mike was saying, when you have a manual
handbrake or a foot brake.
A handbrake or a foot brake. It's
emergency brake.
A hand brake, emergency brake. You can actually retract the piston in the caliper with a tool. You have to still be careful. You don't want to fuck it up. But with the electronic parking brake, it's a little different.
Because it's an electronic motor in there. And so if you just controlled by the computer system of the vehicle, you need to put it in a maintenance mode so that you're not screwing against a pressure that an electronic motor is trying to force against you.
So when fucking Tyler looks at the car and he goes, oh, I just fucking squeezed the bitch.
And if you had just read the workshop manual, it would have told you this information, which is why I always say, read the workshop manual. I cannot stress that enough. Read the workshop manual. Doesn't matter if it's just a brake job. Just read the workshop manual.
Yep.
Yeah. I want to get a button of, did you read the workshop manual? And just
that was easy.
Yeah, exactly. Or maybe one that says, are you fucking kidding me?
That's not such a good work one. Maybe for here that would be good.
It just feeds an earbud, like one single earbud.
Yeah.
So, and that's the thing. You have to put it into maintenance mode. Okay. It backs out the electronic, or it allows you that you can push the piston so that the fucking electric motor isn't fucking fighting you. You're good. You replace everything as normal. You do the fucking maintenance mode in fucking reverse. And you pump the brakes a few times, or the brake pedal a few times, and lo and fucking behold, you've done your brake job.
You're done.
Yeah. Yep.
It should be that simple in practice.
It should be that simple, but like Mike said, it's All right, enough of the fucking bullshit, Mike. I need to know about this goddamn mouse that was chewed in goddamn half.
Okay, so we teased this story on the socials a little bit.
Definitely.
You've got the Ford forum fucking wanting it. You've got Facebook wanting it. You've got everybody in this goddamn room wanting to hear the story.
Yeah, we don't even know.
Okay, so essentially...
So how did it come to be
Yeah, you got to give me a little bit.
The guts are on the Snapple. Should we explain what it is?
Let me extrapolate a little bit further.
It's fucking Gatorade.
Beyond that point, no, it's sports drink.
Oh my
god,
dude, it's Gatorade.
It's goddamn Gatorade.
It's Gatorade.
Okay, guys, listen, I'm trying to keep this thing legal.
Legal.
No, we don't want to give people free advertisements.
Yeah, truly, I'm truly being serious right now.
Yeah. Truly, you need to listen.
Yeah, so the Gatorade bottle with mouse guts on it. I don't think they're worried about that as free advertising.
Okay.
Yeah, and lead me up to this. Like, what was this customer here? Yeah, exactly.
I'm gonna give you the whole scene and setting and everything. Okay.
Mm.
So, I'm in the service office because again, this was a crazy week. This happened this week. The week's flown by. I'm pretty sure it was Tuesday or Wednesday. Again, don't quote me on it. I'm not quite sure. So I'm in the service office trying to help out the service advisors, and we need you to move this vehicle, or we need somebody to move this vehicle because another vehicle has got to move out of the service drive. We're packed like 6 cars deep, 3 lanes wide in the service drive because we don't have any place to park vehicles right now because we're so busy. So they, I'm like, okay, I'll move the car. Like, don't worry about it. I'll move the vehicle. What vehicle is it that you need me to move? They tell me, it's this white truck over here. Okay. So I go grab a seat cover and a floor mat, and I, throw the seat cover on, and I throw the floor mat in, and I hop in it, and I go fire it up, and I look over by my right arm where my right arm is resting on the center console. Next to me is a half uneaten mouse.
No,
is it half eaten or half uneaten?
Well,
we're glass half full podcast. So, and before you continue, I had a question for you. Would you rather have that touching your elbow or a filled condom?
That.
Oh, mouse. I choose mouse.
I choose mouse.
At least I know where the mouse has been.
I can't get pregnant from the mouse.
Technically, you know where the dick has been in that condom.
Yeah, but it's easier to see a little cute half of a white mouse.
It was the...
Funny story. I'm pretty sure that guy's nickname was Little White Mouse.
Oh, my God. So what remained? I don't remember. Was it the front half or the rear half?
It was the bottom half. It was like right below like the shoulders. I get like the top shoulders of the mouse.
There was still some of the fucking rib cage showing in that fucking photo, dude.
The top, the top of the shoulders, those were all gone. Those were picked apart on the center console lid.
So, did you ever get an explanation for this, or did you just throw it away? Or?
After I it doesn't like shock me to see something like that. It was just kind of shocking to see it inside of the customer's car, like placed upon napkins and like entrails from the mouse were like on the Gatorade bottle.
The customer calls in and was like, excuse me, I need to talk to my service writer. I had a half a mouse in my car and now it's not there anymore. Where is it? Someone stole the mouse.
There was nothing in this vehicle to make me think like, this person was like an animal carrier or anything like that,
or Jeffrey Dahmer for mouse.
Yeah. And so I thought like, oh my God, maybe there's like a rodent stuck in this car, and like it just happened to have found this rat and like perched up on the sports drink bottle and started consuming it and like took off when it came to the dealership. I mean, I had no idea,
dude. That literally looked like it was stuck to the side of the Gatorade bottle like a piece of chewed gum.
So the entrails were all across.
Dude, it was strung across. It was fucking gnarly.
So I go back into the service office before I move the car. Like the Luby's sitting in the car behind me trying to get it out the service drive. I said, wait, stop the presses. Can you guys come out and take a look at this, please? So I grab the 3 service advisors. We all come out and we take a look at it, and nobody can believe it. Like, some people are grossed out and like run away, and like then it becomes the whole topping.
It's the
topic of conversation throughout the dealership. Yeah, the talk of the town, right? So anyway, so I have to move the vehicle. So whatever, I don't care.
Right.
Doesn't bother me at all. So I go and I park the vehicle, and I come back and I talk to the service advisor who rode the vehicle, and I said, I don't ever really request this, but can you please call the customer and ask them.
I need some goddamn backstory.
Yeah, what's going on with this? Is this something that I need to like? Is this the reason why the vehicle's here and you didn't tell us about it, or it didn't get transferred into the repair order? Like, what's going on? Is this
the gentleman's afternoon?
Yeah. Do I need to throw this away because it's going to become a problem in a couple days? Or are you saving this for something that you own? You know, it was like I think as you had mentioned it, Jake. You had when I sent you that picture originally. You had said, "Man, you must have been hungry to eat half a mouse."
Exactly.
I said, "Well, obviously not that hungry because he didn't finish it."
when the Schnecken beckons.
When the Schnecken beckons.
Yeah, the service writer didn't tell you this person came out of the car with a boa around their neck.
Then the other thing is, it's all like your service advisors hop into the car to write down the mileage and shit like that, right?
They're supposed to.
So that's the other thing. It's like, how the fuck do you miss that?
I mean,
or they're
maybe if you just like, if you just turn the key on with the door open and you just like leer inside or whatever, Yeah, I mean, honestly, it was a white mouse on a white napkin, and you may not have paid attention to that.
All those little pieces of white fur around the napkin. When I first saw that video, I thought they were okay. So I thought that they were fucking like little tiny teeth at first, and then once I looked closer, I'm like, holy fucking shit, they're little goddamn hands.
Yeah.
Well, I would like to think that the customer was like, "Oh, should I take this out before?" Nah,
it's fine.
Well, we had talked about how customers have sometimes, not all customers, some customers sometimes have disgusting cars.
Oh yeah,
gym shoes or socks or
banana peels.
Your Jack in the Box bag that still has a little bit of the Monster Taco in it that's now rotting, or the banana peel in the console or whatever,
or the visits from Orkin.
Yes, the visits from Orkin. So it's not always so shocking to see something nasty in somebody's car, but to literally see half of a mouse with entrails coming up a fresh sports drink bottle,
fruit by the foot, yo.
So the whole part of this is that apparently, because I had asked the service advisor to reach out and talk to this person, apparently the guy works for I don't want to say Parks and Recreation because that's not what it is. That's a TV show, right? But it's essentially
you can still work for
park ranger thing.
There's park and recreation.
I'm aware. I don't want them to think that they work for the TV show. They work for park rangers, like U.S. Forest Service.
I think most people would be pretty confident in saying that they didn't work for the
I
TV
love that show, and that's all I can think of when I say that phrase.
With half a mouse in their truck.
Listen, hey, we're a community here.
I'd like to think that I'm Ron Swanson. Nick Offerman, get at me.
My dream.
So we call this guy, and apparently he works for the park services, and he just so happens to be a falconer.
I was just going to say he works with raptors.
Yeah. So he, I guess
the dinosaurs.
No, but like those types of hawks, falcons, and stuff. You work with raptors.
Yeah, and turkeys. I think turkeys, I believe, were actually direct descendants of the Velociraptor.
Chickens are apparently direct descendants of a T-Rex.
Yeah, well, look what they turned out to be.
Could you imagine
tiny
seeing
arms.
a giant T-Rex sized chicken?
Dude, chicken wings would be so great.
I was just gonna say, fucking chicken wing to feed a village.
Can you imagine the nuggets off of that thing?
Oh, I'm already imagining.
So yeah, the story that I teased all week was actually a pretty great story. The guy just happened to be a part-time falconer and didn't clean out his snack from his bird.
That was a conscious choice.
It seems like a flex move almost.
I was going to say that it's a fucking power move.
Like, let's see what they say about this. I wonder if I get a phone call.
Well, guess what? We made a fucking podcast about it.
You should I almost think it'd be better if you didn't mention anything at all about it. You're just like, really?
We see this all the time. It's really no big deal.
Yeah, no, dude. It's like our customers like having mice for snacks. This is nothing new to me.
Well, my first thought was like, because I didn't know whether the vehicle was there. It was just a car that didn't move on the service drive. Like, is there a rodent in the car? And this was like the bait for it. And so now that we know there's something, I mean, I really had no idea.
You should have removed a little bit more of it.
Oh, dude, you should have cut off a little bit more. And he was like, did this psycho motherfucker just eat this mouse?
Walk into the service office with some white hairs on my cheek.
You want to talk about a power move, motherfucker.
Yeah, right.
So speaking about chicken nuggets and being able to afford things, guys, it really helps us if you are able to follow us and listen and everything. So at Twitter and Instagram, it is at customer_states. Facebook is at facebook.com/customer states podcast. And the email, as always, is customerstatespodcast@gmail.com. We actually, before we end this, we want to give a shout out. Remind me the gentleman's name. I'm drawing a huge blank, and that is horrible of me. We still need to give him a quick shout out and read his story next week. Okay. Come on, Ellie. Come on.
Noble Hova.
That's
Noble
what it.
Hova.
Yep. No. Wow. Look at you, bud. Thank you.
Well, he's one of my people.
Oh, there you go. So
you.
Noble, seriously, man, thank you so much, man. We will definitely get at your story
next week. Your turn is coming.
Correct. Next week is your turn. We just want to give it the right light. We don't want to just go at it. So we need to definitely make sure that that's portrayed properly. So, email us, guys, Facebook, all that. We really fucking love this shit. We really want to hear the stories. And fucking hey, guys, we did it. Fucking episode 6, over 1,000. Episode 6, over 1,000 fucking listeners. We love it, guys. Seriously, keep at us. We really
tell your friends.
We love this, and truly, once again, fucking sponsor us. We'll see y'all next week.
Goodbye, everybody.
Toodles.
Peace.
Love you.
That feeling you get when your best buddy puts his hand on your thigh, and you feel your pecker head sweep against the zipper of your favorite ripped jeans. Your butthole puckers. That's the feeling of driving a Ford truck. Ford. No girls allowed.